Magic Johnson's story began in the small, unremarkable streets of Lansing, Michigan, where survival was the greatest currency. Born on August 14, 1959, into a family of 10 siblings, Magic grew up in a modest home where every meal was carefully measured. His father, Earvin Sr., worked tirelessly at a General Motors plant and drove a garbage truck before dawn to provide for the family. His mother, Christine, spent long hours scrubbing classrooms to make ends meet. Magic often heard his mother's sighs before even seeing her face, the weight of exhaustion etched into her every movement. Poverty was a constant companion, and the neighborhood children often ridiculed Magic, calling him trash boy due to his father's work. This bullying left deep emotional scars, but it also planted the seeds of resilience in young Magic, shaping the champion he would become. Facing cruelty and building resilience. Despite the laughter and cruelty of others, Magic's resolve grew stronger. The nickname Trash Boy echoed in his mind long after the smell of garbage had faded, and it fueled his determination to rise above his circumstances. At the age of 7, Magic began helping his father with his early morning trash routes, lifting heavy bins with arms that were too small and too weak. The cold Michigan mornings were harsh, but they became his first arena. This physical labor, paired with the emotional weight of ridicule, became his crucible, forging the resilience that would later help him overcome countless obstacles. By the time Magic was a teenager, he had already begun to understand that his worth was not defined by the cruel judgments of others, but by his own inner strength. The challenges of integration and rejection. In 1971, Magic faced another profound challenge when he was reassigned to Everett High during the integration of Lansing schools. A place where his presence was not welcome, he was often ignored by coaches and teammates, and the students mocked him. Magic felt the sting of rejection deeply as he tried to find his place in a world that seemed to exclude him. As he rode the bus through hostile neighborhoods, stones were thrown at him, and he couldn't escape the sense that he didn't belong. At 14, Magic's spirit was tested in ways no young person should endure. The loneliness of being an outsider, feeling like a mistake in the eyes of others, stayed with him as a reminder of the fight he would have to face, not just on the basketball court, but in life. Finding solace on the basketball court. Despite the hardship he faced off the court, Magic found solace and purpose in basketball. Every morning, while Lansing still slept under the icy grip of winter, and Magic would slip onto an empty basketball court. There, the rules of society, race, and poverty didn't apply. Basketball was a world where he could escape the labels, the bullying, and the pain. On those cold concrete courts, Magic honed his skills, turning every insult and rejection into a weapon for success. With each dribble and pass, he felt free from the weight of his circumstances. The game was his refuge, and as he practiced relentlessly, he began to see the beginnings of a future where he wasn't defined by his past. His passion for the sport, born from survival and driven by the need for recognition, scored 36 points, grabbed 18 rebounds, and driven by the need for recognition, turned him into an exceptional player. The night Magic was born. In 1974, at just 15 years old, Magic had a performance that would change his life forever. In a high school gym, he scored 36 points, grabbed 18 rebounds, and delivered 16 assists, a stat line that seemed impossible for a teenager. The local reporter, overwhelmed by his talent, uttered the word that would follow him forever: Magic. That moment was the birth of his new identity. Magic loved the name, but it also terrified him. He knew that with this new identity came expectations that might be too great to meet. Despite his doubts, the name stuck, and he carried it with both pride and fear. Magic's life, from that point on, would never be the same, as the world began to recognize the extraordinary talent he had within him. The glory of championships and the price of fame. As Magic's career soared, so did his fame. By 1987, he had accumulated 5 NBA championships, 3 MVP awards, and countless other accolades. He was the face of the Lakers, the heartbeat of their Showtime dynasty, and one of the most recognizable athletes in the world. The world watched as Magic dominated on the court, his smile lighting up arenas, and his name being synonymous with excellence. But behind the glittering trophies and endorsement deals, Magic struggled with the crushing pressure of maintaining his public persona. Fame brought isolation, and the weight of being Magic began to take its toll. The constant scrutiny, the expectations, and the inability to escape the public eye started to grind him down. Despite the accolades, Magic felt a deep loneliness, a longing for something more than what fame could provide, confronting HIV and the power of survival. In 1991, Magic's world was shattered when he was diagnosed as HIV positive. At just 32 years old, with a flourishing career, a new family, and a bright future ahead of him, the diagnosis hit like a bolt from the blue. The media and the public prepared for his funeral, speculating that Magic had only a few years left to live. The weight of this news was overwhelming, and Magic found himself consumed by fear and guilt. He feared for his wife, Cookie, and their unborn child, wondering if he had doomed them to a future without him. The diagnosis shook Magic to his core, but it also ignited a defiance within him. He would not let this illness define him. The man who had survived the cruel streets of Lansing, who had conquered basketball and business, would now fight for his life with the same tenacity. Losses and grief, facing mortality. As Magic fought to survive, more losses came into his life. His childhood friend passed away suddenly in 1994, and in 2007, his father, Earvin Sr., passed away after years of hard work and sacrifice. These losses, while deeply painful, helped Magic understand the strength his father had shown and the love that had driven him. Magic was no longer just a basketball legend. He was a man who had faced unimaginable challenges and learned to appreciate life's fleeting nature. In 2013, he lost his sister to cancer, and the grief became almost unbearable. Yet through all the pain, Magic persevered. His journey, marked by triumph and tragedy, proved that survival and resilience were the ultimate measures of strength. Magic's life, today, a monument to resilience. Today, at the age of 66, Magic Johnson stands as a living testament to the power of resilience. His life is no longer defined by the basketball court or his fame. Instead, Magic has become a symbol of survival and strength. With a net worth exceeding $1.5 billion, he has built an empire that extends far beyond sports. He has made significant investments in real estate, business ventures, and sports team ownership. But perhaps the most important luxury Magic enjoys today is time. The time to cherish his family, to watch his children and grandchildren grow, and to live life with purpose. His legacy is not just about championships or wealth. It is about the battles he fought, the obstacles he overcame, and the lives he touched along the way. Legacy beyond basketball. Giving back to the community, Magic's life has come full circle. Where once he had to fight for recognition, now he uses his platform to give back to those who need it most. Through his foundation, Magic has contributed millions of dollars to HIV awareness, healthcare access, youth programs, and community development. His philanthropy is not a gesture of celebrity, but a reflection of his understanding of hardship and perseverance. Magic has built a legacy that extends far beyond the basketball court, and his story continues to inspire generations. Through it all, Magic's most enduring lesson is that strength comes not from never falling, but from rising every time we do. And for Magic Johnson, the fight continues. Not for fame or history, but simply for life itself.